MrYorkieLoverFitness.com.
My friends, I really didn't feel like making this video, believe it or not. But I just happened to go over some of the comments. And I read this guy claiming how much knowledge he knew by reading the reports on arginine, how it works. Sort of guy, I said, here's this sucker telling what he read in the mag. That's why I always tell you about experience. And when I tell you something, my friends, it's not what I heard or read, it's what I know. When these people, these lab boys do these tests, they have no affinity whatsoever to natural supplements and bodybuilding supplements. They have no affinity, no feeling for whatsoever. They are medicine lab guys. They test everything like it's a medicine. I remember so plainly, my friends, years ago, they were saying vitamins were worthless. They had no effect because the amount they were studying in the lab was too low a potency to have any effect. People start taking higher potencies and were feeling good from it. The cells proliferated. So now they had to scramble around and find out, well, we said it didn't work. Then, of course, it turned to be dangerous. You could overdose on something that their lab tests told them was worthless. Now, what happened to the first studies that these guys, this was a study. When it comes to nutrition, and it's a study, I don't even look at it because I know they screwed up. Because they are trained to study medicine. They use a medical approach to everything. You cannot use that, my friends, with supplements. Then they went from, it fascinates me, from the vitamins, their studies, of course, were dangerous. You could overdose on something they just said, studies said they were worthless. Now they wanted to put it on prescription, something that their studies told them were worthless. See, so when I had these guys sitting back, I read a study, they themselves never had any experience in arginine. They don't have an idea what it's all about. Do you know these so-called lab boys were saying that steroids didn't work for quite a while? They were claiming steroids didn't work, and guys are walking around like a bump in the air. They finally got out of the lab, and then steroids went from being worthless, not working, to a drug. The FDA had to restrict. You see, so now we take arginine, and that's the thing I really want to talk about. It infuriates me to no end. These lab boys, how many people did they study other than in the lab? Did they know that arginine is supposed to be taken separately? No. That arginine must be taken on an empty stomach or with carbohydrates because arginine is a natural product. It's part of the amino acids. If you put it in with protein, it combines with the amino acid, and the medicinal effect is lost. You must take enough of it to get into the bloodstream and change the chemistry, adjust the chemistry, but it's done naturally. And you got to take it on an empty stomach, or if you don't take it on an empty stomach, take it with carbs only. Now, you see, my friends, I'm doing this. It just infuriates me when I see these guys. He read a study. I've been in the bodybuilding world over 50 years. I deal with hundreds of guys that arginine is like elixir itself. They try it and it works, but you got to use it properly. I saw one nutritional show, Dr. Oz on TV. He had no affinity for arginine, no sense, no feel for it whatsoever. He said arginine is good. You got to take it with each meal. If you take arginine with each meal, you might as well not take it at all for the effect. It ain't going to hurt you, but it won't have the effect of arginine. I have arginine, a lot of doctors that are aware, they give arginine for circulatory heart problems. because it increases the efficiency of your circulation. It also helps to maintain positive nitrogen balance, which is that it helps to hold the protein in the tissues, you see. But these studies come out and they give people a couple of arginine pills and say, oh, don't worry. And then they give it to them with meals. They have no affinity. See, they have no feel for what they're doing. They're medicinal people. They associate everything with drugs. They test things like they respond like antibiotics. And whatever you have studied, my friend, from the powers of be on nutrition, put it in the garbage. Because they don't know what they're doing. They have no affinity whatsoever, no feel, no affinity whatsoever for the product they're talking about. They don't even understand that medicine works outside the body, supplements work with the body. Now, I've been in this business too long. I know what I take the arginine and I feel the difference is dramatic because they use it properly. And you can't use margarine stingy, using 1 or 2 capsules. It is not a drug. And when I use it, and at my age, I tell the difference, it's dramatic. I got hundreds. I've been in this nutritional business over 50 years. I got hundreds of guys that take the arginine. And the response is tremendous. So when some guy tell me he read a study, he don't know hell of shit about arginine himself, but he read some study. I hear that all the time. I read a study. Did you ever have hands on? Did you ever see? Did you ever try it properly, use it? Did you speak to people that use it? No. I know what I'm talking about. My friends, when I tell you something, you can say one thing. It's not what I heard or read. It's something I know. These so-called studies have been wrong so often that people dismiss them. When Linus Pauling first came out with the wonders of vitamin C, they gave 100 milligrams of the vitamin C to people and said it didn't work. Of course 100 milligrams. They had people come in there all with a cold and they said, oh, vitamin C, give them 100 milligrams. Those things don't work that way. They work in its totality. So when you hear these, arginine is fantastic. Let me tell you that. And you had some sucker sitting back there, oh, I read a study. How many people he talked to use it? Does he know how to use it himself? No. And the only reason I'm saying it is because I don't want guys to read what he said and think it's a possible minute inkling of reality in it. The medical profession is nobody to study anything. Every time you turn around, they got some study that's thrown out. Now they're saying omega-3, something is proven is no good. New study. And that's why you use your common sense. When something works, forget about it. But the thing that really, all the body was laughing about it, they weren't talking for quite a while. The steroids didn't work. Because, they're in the lab with their blinders on, trying to do everything through test tubes. You got to deal with people. Then finally they found out. And they made a fool out of them. They don't learn. They keep coming out with that. You cannot use the same testing method on natural foods as you do on drugs. You're not going to get the right answer. And remember, my friends, I tell you all the time, supplements work with the body, drugs work outside the body. You cannot use the same methods to evaluate them. So that's the only reason I'm making this, because the studies show. And now this sucker that tells you the studies show, did he ever try anything himself? Did he know how to use them? No. Just want to think that he knows something because he read something in a book. But as I tell you all the time, my friends, when I tell you something, it's not what I heard or read. It's something I know. So that's why you see me rail on experience. There's no substitute. There's no substitute. And don't let nobody come and tell you, I read a book, so that's why you should follow it. Bull. What is the basis of that book? Where it comes from? Do you know anybody that has experience with that book and what the book teaches? No. All right, my friends. I just had to put that out because I was just so annoyed. To be continued.